Have you ever noticed something strange? A guy and a girl say, "We're just friends," but everyone around them raises an eyebrow. Friends start teasing them, family members look suspicious, and even random people assume something more is going on. Meanwhile, the two friends keep repeating, "No, seriously, we're just friends." It almost feels like the world refuses to believe that explanation. But that leads to an interesting question. Is opposite gender friendship really just friendship? Or is there sometimes something deeper happening that people don't talk about? If we're honest, most friendships between people of the opposite gender start in a completely normal way. Maybe you met in school, maybe you work together, or maybe you started chatting online because you both enjoy the same memes or hobbies. At the beginning, everything is simple. You talk, you laugh, and you share random stories about your day. There's no pressure and no expectations. It's just two people enjoying each other's company. But slowly, very small things start to change. You notice when they reply late to your messages. You remember tiny details about what they like or dislike. And sometimes you even feel a little jealous when they mention someone they might be interested in. Suddenly, this simple friendship starts to feel slightly more complicated than before. Psychology offers an interesting explanation for why this happens. The human brain is naturally wired to notice potential romantic partners, even if we don't consciously think about it. It's almost like your brain is running a silent background app. You're not actively using it, but it's still there, quietly working. Because of this, friendships between opposite genders sometimes develop layers that people don't immediately recognize. And this is where things can become a little funny. Sometimes one person in the friendship feels absolutely nothing romantic at all. For them, the relationship is completely platonic. Meanwhile, the other person might slowly start developing feelings, almost like it's a slow burn romance in a movie. This difference in feelings can create some very relatable situations. One person begins overthinking every message. They wonder why the other person used a heart emoji, or why they said goodnight twice, or why they suddenly took longer to reply. Their mind starts asking questions like, does this mean something? At the same time, the other person might be completely unaware of all this overthinking. They might casually say something like, "Relax, I send heart emojis to everyone." Moments like these are actually one of the main reasons people believe opposite gender friendships are complicated. Feelings don't always grow equally. Sometimes attraction is one-sided, sometimes it changes over time, and sometimes both people deny their feelings until someone else points them out. You've probably seen this happen before. Two friends spend a lot of time together. They talk every day, know everything about each other, and support each other through problems. From the outside, it almost looks like a relationship. Friends and family start saying things like, "You two are basically dating." Yet the two friends insist, "No, we're just friends." Then, suddenly, one day, they actually start dating. At that moment, everyone around them reacts with, "I knew it." It feels like watching the most predictable plot twist in a movie. But there's a deeper reason behind this pattern. Opposite gender friendships often involve emotional closeness that looks very similar to a romantic relationship. You share personal problems, encourage each other during difficult moments, spend a lot of time together, and build strong trust. These are the same ingredients that create romantic bonds. Because of this, the line between friendship and attraction can sometimes become blurry, not because anyone planned it that way, but because humans are naturally emotional and social. Imagine having a friend who understands you better than most people. They make you laugh when you're stressed, they listen carefully when you need to talk, and they support your goals and dreams. When someone consistently brings comfort and happiness into your life, your brain starts associating them with positive emotions. And interestingly, comfort and happiness are often the starting points of attraction. That doesn't mean attraction will always happen, but it explains why it sometimes appears unexpectedly. However, it's important to remember that opposite gender friendships can absolutely exist in a healthy and purely platonic way. Many people maintain strong friendships without any romantic tension. These friendships usually work well because both people clearly understand their boundaries. There are no hidden expectations or secret hopes for something more. It's simply genuine friendship built on respect and trust. The real complications tend to appear when expectations are different.
One person might secretly hope the friendship eventually turns into a relationship, while the other person sees it as nothing more than friendship. Sometimes emotional closeness slowly transforms into attraction without either person realizing it at first. That's when things can start to feel awkward. Normal conversations suddenly feel different, jokes feel heavier, and small moments start carrying more meaning. Eventually, someone might stop and ask themselves, wait, do I actually like them? The funny thing is that these feelings don't always last forever. Sometimes they appear quickly and disappear just as fast. Attraction can sometimes be a temporary confusion created by emotional closeness. It's like when your brain accidentally mixes friendship chemistry with romantic chemistry. A simple way to imagine it is like accidentally putting salt in your tea instead of sugar. At first, something feels strange and unexpected, but eventually you realize what happened and move on. So, are opposite gender friendships never just friendship? Not exactly. They can absolutely be real friendships. However, they sometimes carry a small layer of complexity that same-gender friendships might not have. Attraction, curiosity, and emotions occasionally sneak in without warning. And honestly, that complexity is also part of what makes these friendships interesting. They allow people to understand different perspectives, build empathy, and create strong emotional support systems. In many cases, these friendships remain friendships for life. In other cases, they slowly grow into romantic relationships. But neither outcome is guaranteed. Every friendship is different, and the path it takes depends entirely on the people involved. So the next time someone says, "We're just friends," maybe they truly mean it. Or maybe the story is still unfolding. Either way, you might just smile quietly and think, all right, let's see what happens in season 2.